All right, thanks so much, Steph. Devo Brown is here with the latest from Tinseltown.
Let's go. We've been talking about those Oscar nominations on Monday, so let's get them for you. What's it going to look like at this ceremony? April 25th, we know that's going to be most likely outdoors. Everything could change, right? Let's just start with that. And anything can change weather-wise, COVID restrictions in Los Angeles, but normally it's at the Dolby Theater. They're saying they want to incorporate that in some way, but there's a good chance it'll be at the historic Union Square in Los Angeles, or Union Station, excuse me. So they're looking at an outdoor thing similar to what the Grammys did, and I thought that looked beautiful.
Same. I liked it.
Yeah, and side note, we talked about BTS's performance. They were actually in Seoul, by the way, and recreated the skyline of LA for that performance.
Trevor Noah said it. He
Yeah.
said that looked like it was done here, but they made it there, so it looked like it was. It's
Just
crazy.
a quick side note. Yeah. It's amazing. So
Yeah.
normally, they would have different people present that aren't nominees. Maybe somebody that won years past. That probably won't happen. Normally about 50 nominees also showing up. They're going to cut that down maybe to 25 that will be there live. You can only bring one guest with you. They're thinking some of the presenters this year will be current nominees as well in order to limit the amount of people that will be there. So that's kind of what we're getting right now. That's what it is for the most information. A reduced red carpet will happen. But again, they're trying to make it maybe similar to the Grammys and how it looks.
It's going to be really interesting because at last check, the United States are getting 3 million people vaccinated per day, and we're over a month out from April 25th. It's going to be, I'm hopeful what the landscape could look like. Like you said, like these restrictions right now they're in. Who knows what it's like a month from now? So it'll be interesting. I think it'll be a bit of a window into the soul of kind of where they are vaccination-wise in the States if this show gets somewhat back to normal, which we're all hoping for in April 25th.
Yeah, and I think that's why they're kind of hesitant to release any more detail. I don't think they've fully planned it out.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a last minute, like, let's put it together now this way, according to what we have going on, like a few weeks out.
It's too soon to say, but you're right. I do like when you, in the past years, pre-pandemic, of course, you would see the previous year's winners present to the current. So there won't be that.
As much. They might, excuse me, if they are nominated this year, then they might be there as well. But they're trying to limit that as much as possible. Only presenters, nominees, and their guests will be allowed at the ceremony. That's what they've specified for sure. Let's talk this and get some more serious news. We talked about the shooting that happened, or the shootings that happened by the one person in Atlanta and that area at these massage parlors and these spas. 6 of the victims, Asian women. So there's a lot of celebrities calling for, and they're using that hashtag Stop Asian Hate on social media. And they're saying, listen, we've got to get this under control. Since last March, there's been over 3,800 attempts and incidents reported of anti-Asian hatred and situations that have gone on. So Olivia Munn tweeting now, the violent attacks and murders against Asians are still happening. Please help us. We need help to be safe in our country. Stop Asian hate, please. Daniel Day Kim, the race of the person committing the crime matters less than the simple fact that if you act with hate in your heart, you are part of the problem. And to those with the power to help and yet sit idly by, your silence is complicity. Mindy Kaling, the target of our Asian brothers and sisters, is sickening, but not surprising given the normalizing of anti-Asian hate speech in the past year. We have to stop it, and enough is enough. And Canadian Simu Liu feeling overwhelming grief at the senseless murder of 8 people in Atlanta. Still much we don't know, but it's clear to me that the shooter specifically targeted Asian women, praying for the victims' families and for my Asian sisters. Action to follow. John Legend, finally, we'll get to this last one. Absolutely horrible. Sending love to all the loved ones of those whose lives were taken. Our nation needs to reckon with the increased threats being directed at our Asian American brothers and sisters. And a lot of people talking about the rhetoric that was kind of put out by the former president in that when he was calling it the China virus and things like that. So that's what they're talking about, and that does have to stop. That is scary. I have a friend of mine, I'll go off script here for a second, but a friend of mine who lives in Atlanta, her best friend was in a store next to one of the parlors that was shot up. And everybody fearing for their lives there. And then think about and people that she saw were killed. Like she would see on a regular basis, were killed in this attack. And it just hits close to home for everyone. But you can't imagine those families. They had people they had to go home to, right?
It's devastating.
It's scary.
It is scary. And we all agree with the sentiment, the hashtag. The only thing I would say to that, especially from a celebrity standpoint, is, and I think you know where I'm going with this, is at some point it just feels like the hashtag kind of stops. And these are some very powerful people with heavy influence on social media. It's got to continue. It can't just be the thing we're tweeting about this week, right? I just sometimes find that with celebrities, it's a very easy thing to do, and then it just doesn't continue. And like with Breonna Taylor, the anniversary was just the other day.
Yeah.
And you saw that come up again. You hadn't seen that in a while. I just hope hashtags like this that matter continue with some extremely influential people. That's the only thing I would say.
I agree with you, and I think the people that we're seeing on this list that we just mentioned there are people that will continue that and push to make change. And fingers crossed that they do, because we need some change and accountability, and things need to happen in that way.
And it does start the conversation to hopefully create change and literally save lives, right?
for sure.
Hopefully, yeah.
Absolutely. No easy way to transition into something else differently, but let's talk about this. I mentioned it earlier, so I do want to mention it now because we brought it up. Monsters, Inc. You know, we need something fun. We need something light here. And Monsters, Inc., what a great film, Oscar-winning film, of course. We saw Monsters University, which was the prequel to it. There's going to be a show now, a Disney Plus series, doing that and kind of seeing what life is like after the film, the original film. So I will give you more details on that after 9 o'clock, but just wanted to show you the first look of what's coming up with that. And also starting on Monday, we know you're going to wake up with BT. I wake up with BT. That's all you're going to say if I call you on the phone after 8 o'clock. You're going to answer that phone within 4 rings and say only those. Don't say hi, Devo. Don't say, oh, hey girl, hey, none of that. You're just going to say, I wake up with BT.
Exactly.
You do that, you win $1,000, and that is going to start on Monday. bttoronto.ca. Click on the contest page to get involved and get that money. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more BT.